What is going on, everyone? Welcome to episode 4 of the Downtown Browntown podcast. I'm your host, Downtown Browntown. Today, we're going to talk all things Giannis. Of obvious reasons, him signing the Supermax extension with the Bucks, locking him up for the next 5 years with the Bucks is the best news that I've probably heard in 2020, to be honest. Wow, what a day. What an amazing day. We're also going to touch on the Bucks' first 2 preseason games and some things that I haven't seen, some things that I'd like to see, and just some general analysis on the 2 games there. So before we get into that, let's talk Giannis. So as of yesterday, Giannis broke the internet with his tweet saying that he is signing the Supermax extension with the Milwaukee Bucks, a 5-year, $228 million extension. The last year of that contract is a player option, so he could opt out if he so choose. But disregarding that, we have Giannis this current season on his current contract, and then 4 more guaranteed years of his Supermax. So the next 5 years, Giannis is going to be suiting up for the Milwaukee Bucks, and just can't be happier about it. We, as Bucks fans, as residents of the state of Wisconsin, should just appreciate this man so much and what he's done for this city, this organization. He is a real one. We're so lucky to have him. And Giannis, all of the state of Wisconsin loves you. All Milwaukee Bucks fans love you. You're just a class act and the best possible player for us to represent our city, to represent our franchise. And we're so lucky that you're loyal to this team. And I'm just so happy to have you for these next 5 years. You've provided so much joy to me and all the other Bucks fans out there attending games, watching games. You're just a truly amazing talent, and we're so lucky to have you. And let's remember this too, Bucks fans, that last year I was kind of taking this approach of let's just enjoy every second we have with this guy. Before, obviously, that him signing this Supermax contract, we didn't know what his future was looking like, and I was taking the approach of, all right, I'm going to watch every game and just enjoy watching this guy play with a Bucks jersey on because he's a once-in-a-lifetime player, and he made the Bucks relevant, and he's gotten better every single season with the Bucks, and we just got to enjoy the ride with him. Obviously, now we can breathe a sigh of relief and know that we're going to have him for the next 5 years, and hopefully we can see him host that Larry O'Brien trophy that he desperately deserves, and that the city deserves as well. So overall, just absolutely amazing. It's also very good for the Bucks as well in terms of re-signing Jrue Holiday. So obviously we traded for Jrue Holiday this offseason, gave up a lot of assets and picks for him, but he has a player option next season for $26 million, and he could decline that and hit free agency. But now that Giannis is locked up prior to the season, that's obviously going to help our chances of retaining Jrue Holiday, and we'll be able to offer him a contract sometime in February. I'm not exactly sure when, but the Bucks will be obviously the only team, that can offer him a contract during the season. So once that hits that February mark, I'm sure there'll be an exact date at some point. Hopefully we can re-sign Jrue, and we desperately need to because with Giannis' contract kicking in next year, we're already over the cap, and we're going to have very little flexibility to make moves. And we traded a lot of picks away for Jrue Holiday as well. So Bucks don't have a lot of assets. We gave up a lot of assets. We got to keep Jrue Holiday on the Bucks. We really do. So a lot of that's going to depend on how they do this season. But knowing that Giannis is going to be suiting up for the Bucks the next 5 years, that's got to help Jrue Holiday's chances of re-signing that contract. And it seems like he's invested in the team. It seems like he wants to be here. He knows that this is a great chance for him to win a championship, and which he has not done. He's been in the league for quite some time, so that all bodes well for the Bucks during the season here. We just got to hope that our play is good enough to keep him around, and I'm confident that it will be. So there's a lot of implications with the Giannis signing. Obviously, national media can go fuck themselves now because they were just trying to paint the narrative, Giannis is going to go to Miami. Oh, he's got the same agent as Bam Adebayo, so that's gonna get him to sign to Miami. Or oh, he's gonna go with Golden State and team up with Steph and Clay and Draymond. Oh, maybe he'll just go to the Lakers. They have his other brother, so that's pretty much a shoe-in for him to go to the Lakers too. Enough of that bullshit. You guys can go fuck yourselves, and we've got Giannis. And honestly, we got to enjoy. We should be just totally applauding that and making our voices heard, because we've just been getting absolutely grilled for the past season, even more, of the speculation that Giannis is going to leave. Oh, where is he going to go? So just finally that can go away. I'm so relieved that Twitter is a little more enjoyable now. Twitter was great yesterday. So that's a big relief for Bucks fans as well. And taking a more big picture approach with this Supermax extension, this is a huge win, obviously, for the Bucks. They're the number one winners, but it's also a huge win for the NBA. The Supermax contract, since the NBA introduced it, it hasn't been that long. I don't think it's been more than 10 years. I'd say even less than that. That there's not been as much success with players signing that contract as the league thought and the players thought. Russell Westbrook signed it in OKC. He eventually got traded. Anthony Davis could have had the Supermax contract. He wanted to get traded and go to the Lakers. Kevin Durant could have got the Supermax. He signs with Golden State. Damian Lillard, I don't think he signed the Supermax, but he signed a very equivalent contract to it in terms of compensation. He's been really one of the only guys who's stayed loyal to the small market teams. And obviously, as we know, majority of the league are small market teams. You got the Clippers, you got the Lakers, you got the Knicks, and some other teams. But overall, they're majority small market teams. And this is just a huge win for all those small markets for a team like the Bucks in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, a cold weather state during most of the season, for them to retain a two-time MVP, one of the best, if not the best player in the NBA, signing his third contract is just an absolute huge win for the league. And it looks a lot of some of the national media is realizing that, is happy that he stayed, and it's nice to see that. So just overall, huge win for the Bucks, huge win for the NBA, and Giannis, can't wait to watch you for the Bucks the next 5 years and hopefully more. So let's dive into the preseason. The Bucks have played 2 preseason games, both against the Dallas Mavericks, which they both lost. Some guys that have looked good. I like what DJ Augustin has provided on the offensive end. Defensively, he has gotten exposed. He's in the last game we played on Monday. He fouled 2 guys on the 3-point line, and he was getting bullied guarding some bigger guards, and that very much concerns me, because he's going to play a huge role for this team. And his offense is great. I mean, he's good with the ball in his hands. He's made plays for other guys. He can hit open shots. He can create his own shot. The only thing that's worried me a bit on offense as well is he tries to drive to the hole a decent amount and has not had great success. He's a 5'11", very small point guard. He's crafty and he's good at using his body to shield off other players and to get those layups up, but he's gotten dunked or blocked multiple times, and it is concerning to me when you're used to a guy like a George Hill who could pretty much get his shots in the paint and not have to worry about getting blocked as much. He's got really long arms and he was taller. DJ Augustin is definitely not that. So a little concerning there, but overall, I think he's provided a spark to this team, and he's a good player. So I'm hoping that they can hide his defensive deficiencies a little bit more. But overall, I think DJ Augustin is generally trending up. Bobby Portis has looked pretty good. He's got a lot of energy. I mean, that first game, he came off the bench and just had some explosive plays, dunks to the rim. I mean, and after he's dunking, he's getting all hyped up, and And I like that. The Bucks don't have a lot of guys like that. Obviously, Giannis will do his stank faces and that sort of thing. He'll yell sometimes. I mean, that's Giannis. But other than that, we don't have a lot of guys like that. And Bobby Portis has provided a good spark to this team. His defense does not look too bad. He's athletic. I think that he can get there. He's gotten bullied by some bigger guys a little bit. But overall, I think he is going to be a great player for this team, and he's going to get a lot of minutes. He's going to have a huge role. He's going to be playing center for us at times. They're going to run lineups with Giannis and Bobby Portis in there, which I would really be a fan of. So overall, I think he's looked great. He's been hitting some shots. He's great on the free throw line too. That's one really positive thing about a lot of these signings that we made in free agency, and along with trading for Drew Holiday, is these guys hit free throws consistently. You saw it with Bobby Portis and DJ Augustine, Bryn Forbes, Drew Holiday. I mean, that is a huge win for the Bucks. We have not been a great free throw shooting team, especially in the playoffs the last 2 years when you need them most. I mean, Giannis, it's every time he's on the free throw line, just hold my breath and like, is this? We could see an air ball. We could see 2 swishes in a row. You just never know what you're going to get. The first game, 6 for 7 from the line. Great. Second game started 0 for 6. I mean, that's tough. It's tough to overcome. But these new additions shoot really good from the stripe, so that is a good sign. Bryn Forbes, he's looked okay. Again, defense, pretty bad. He's gotten exploited. He is a very small combo guard, primarily plays 2. He's not a ball handler as much as a guy like Drew Holiday or Augustine, so he's going to be playing 2 for us. He has not looked great on defense at all. He's very short, and he's stocky, but there's 2 guards all around the league, 6'5", 6'6", 6'7". There's these big guys that, man, he's going to have a hard time guarding them. But he shoots really well from 3. He shot 3 for 4 from 3 in Game 2 against the Dallas Mavericks, and he can hit shots. And if he can do that, he's going to get minutes for this team. They just got to find ways to hide its defense, just like DJ Augustine, and I think they can do that. They found ways to do that last year with Kyle Korver. Confident that they can do it with Bryn Forbes as long as they have the right personnel. And you need guys in there like Drew Holiday for sure. And that's a perfect segue into Drew Holiday. I think he's looked a little lost. I mean, he's been with the New Orleans Pelicans the last 7 seasons and is used to a different system, and he's a great player. He's looked good. His defense has been great. He guarded Doncic a lot of the time. He's going to take the Wesley Matthews role of last year of guarding the best guard on opposing teams. He's 6'4". He's a big dude, 230, really strong for his size. And he's looked great on defense. His offense is not quite there yet, but that's okay. I mean, this has been a big change for him, and he's going to get there. He's looked great with pick and rolls with Giannis. Same with DJ Augustine as well. We haven't had many depth pieces who have been good at running pick and rolls with Giannis or really anyone on this team, and DJ Augustine's looked absolutely great with it. Him and Giannis really gelled well with that. Same with Drew Holiday. He knows how to make the right pass. He can create his own shot off the pick and roll if need be. He's made some really nice layups, and overall, I'm not worried about him at all. It's just going to take him a little time to get used to things. But once the regular season kicks in 1 week from today against the Boston Celtics, Drew Holiday is going to be ready to go, and he's going to ball out. I'm totally confident in his abilities, and he's a perfect fit for this team. And I'm so excited to watch him play this season. Other than that, I mean, the Bucks have looked okay. They've had some stretches of dominance, but they've started both of the third quarters of these games just very lackluster. In the first game, the bench unit of Dallas really dominated the Bucks starters in the third quarter and kind of blew that game out of hand a little bit and forced, well, not forced, but the Bucks just went to their bench and kind of stuck with it after that because it is preseason. You don't want to play these guys too many minutes, especially the starters. So it's been interesting. You look at guys like Torrey Craig, he's gotten some minutes. He's looked pretty good defensively, offensively. He's looked pretty lost, has not looked great at all. Pat Connaughton, not looking good so far. He's been a part of this team for the past 2 years. Not too concerned about him. And then, the rookies, Jordan Nwora, Sam Merrill, didn't see much from them. Sam Merrill had a really nice step back three in the first game. Jordan Nwora hit a good catch and shoot three in game one, but overall, not much to see there. Didn't really get many minutes, which is okay. But again, it's going to be a slow start to the season for all teams, and if the Bucks can be one of those teams who get that chemistry going and gel early on in the season, it's really going to benefit them. Chris Middleton noted in one of his post-practice press conferences that all the teams are going to be dealing with this chemistry, this quick turnaround problems of the season starting up in a week here, and the teams that learn how to take advantage of that are going to excel, and they're going to play well, and it's ultimately going to help them in their regular season standings and coming into the playoffs. So if the Bucks can take advantage of that, I think they're going to be just fine. But I wouldn't be too concerned with what we're seeing so far. We do play Friday against the New Orleans Pelicans in New Orleans, so a little homecoming for Drew Holiday there. I'm hoping to see him play pretty well. And we'll see how many minutes the starters get. Excuse me. I think it's going to be a little lower than game 2 where they played around 25 to 30 minutes. I would expect more around the 20-minute range. But we'll see what happens there. I also wouldn't be surprised if they did play even more minutes, actually, because this is their last tune-up against an opponent before we face the Boston Celtics in Boston 1 week from today. Just a little preview of that game. Kemba Walker will be out because he got a stem cell injection in his knee, so he's going to be out until sometime in January, so that obviously helps the Bucks. We all know Marcus Smart has been a killer for that team and has really taken advantage of the Bucks the last few years. He will be guarding Drew Holiday, I would assume, and they still got Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum. They pick up a Tristan Thompson. I don't think their bench is very good, but we'll see how they look. I'm thinking that the Bucks always match up well with the Celtics, and I think they're going to win that game. Giannis dominates them. They don't have a guy to guard him. I mean, they've been throwing like Daniel Tice on him and even like Ojale and guys like that, and they're getting dog walked by him. I mean, Tristan Thompson, he's bigger, but he's not as athletic as Tice or Ojale, so I think he's just going to absolutely dominate, and the Bucks will take home a victory. Can't wait to watch it. And that's all I have for episode 4. Can't thank you guys enough for watching. And please feel free to subscribe to my YouTube channel so you can stay up to date on all my future content. And be sure to follow me on Instagram and Twitter as well. Instagram is at Downtown Browntown. And I actually just changed them. So let me make sure that I'm accurate here before I get going here. Okay, so my Twitter handle is now at downtown_Brown, and my Instagram handle is at downtownbrown. I wanted to make them the same, but the character limitations with Twitter were causing me problems. I just couldn't come up with something. So again, if you just type in downtown, you're going to find me. So again, Twitter at downtown_Brown and Instagram at downtownbrown. Those are going to be my 2 main platforms, as well as obviously my YouTube channel hosts contains all the podcasts, but those are going to be my 2 main social media platforms where I post my content and as well share my thoughts on the team and the rest of the league. So can't thank you guys enough, and we'll see you next week.